Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a nice morning like me. I don't remember what time I went to bed, really, but it's amazing how many people came, so you're better than me on this. I decided to have like really easygoing presentation, so no heavy topics today, except we will have to listen to English, so it will be a little bit of listening for you. If you have questions, ask me in Hungarian. I will not answer them right now, maybe later. But let's go through the presentation about the news from Kaspersky. Because actually recently we have launched a new series of the new business product protections. I'll speak about this. I'll speak about other topics like security awareness, which is also very important. I see that this topic has been presented already many times yesterday, so it's also a topic which I would like to speak about. Shortly about this, I'm sure you note this slide. Global company, pretty huge, 200 countries. It's really a company who's like globally reached, even though it doesn't look in Europe nowadays due to geopolitics. It's spread worldwide. The nearest office is in Prague. This is where actually I come from. So we covered the area of Central Eastern Europe plus Baltics to be more interesting. And what I want to mention this is we are the only traditional cybersecurity vendor or antivirus vendor, if you want to call it, who runs the Transparency Center. I'll speak about this a little bit more, but Kaspersky, as you know, is trying to be as much transparent as possible. It's not about the latest geopolitical issues. It's actually reaching back to 2017 or even earlier, when Kaspersky decided to be more transparent with the data, with the data storage, with the products, how we do and stuff. So that's important information. We serve more than 400 million customers worldwide. We have approximately 250,000 customers. Again, despite the geopolitical situation, the number does not really decline, except of Europe, of course. But in other regions, the company is catching up pretty much on gaining the new customers. So getting stronger in other regions, getting weaker, honestly, in Europe, that's true. So pretty healthy and stable company worldwide, which also shows the recent, not only the recent, but many years recognitions and awards about the cybersecurity independent tests of the products which we use. And why I use this is just the connection that these awards are basically from independent companies, organizations, and are issued in 2023, 2022. So after the crisis started, we've been still awarded with the products which is really a quality one, and actually still gaining the awards worldwide. So despite the whole situation as it is, company has just a great product. This is actually why I'm also work for this company, because I'm proud of selling such a product, which is really a well-tested. I spoke about this. Kaspersky decided to open a data center in Zurich, in Europe. Why in Zurich? Because Zurich stands for independency within the Europe overall, so he decided to invest into the data center in Zurich, so they store the data from the European customers over there. But since then, they opened many other data centers, plus we opened so-called a transparency centers, which means if we have a serious customers who would like to know more about source code, for example, how we build up the product, how secure it is, what are the processes, so we can invite those people to our transparency centers worldwide. And we just explain, and we are very open in saying this is how it works, this is how the security processes works, and stuff. So again, one of the, basically we are the only traditional antivirus vendors who are so much open and trying to be independent and transparent worldwide. We also have audits which are internationally recognized, like SOC 2 audit or ISO 27001, which stands for the quality of the product and of the processes of the company. So that's all about the company, about the news. I mentioned that in Europe we're not doing very well because of the geopolitics. The company is actually gaining another market in other regions like Middle East, like South America, like Asia Pacific and stuff. So overall the company is still healthy. Let's take a look at the state of the cybersecurity this year. And I'm sure you do remember the days back in 90s, basically, when it's just, I just put it there, it's really interesting. Just when we actually catched up and experienced like one virus per 1 hour, basically, by then. Then in the 20s, 2000s times, it was like one virus per 1 minute. In 2011, it was like one virus per every second. And nowadays, we're basically catching up like 420,000 malicious or new threats, basically new threats every day. So this is like incredible number, which appears. Those threats, they are basically a commodity threats. We call them a commodity threats because they are created by automated systems, so people don't work on them. So they are basically a commodity kind of threats, so we work on them. How we know that? How we know this? This is, let's take an example that the globe has about 7 billion people. Kaspersky users, we have like 400 million. And those 400 millions, they are sharing the data with us through Kaspersky's security network. So they're sharing the logs and data with us. And together with the machine learning technologies, with the search robots, bot farms, spams, IoT traps, and many other technology, we basically detecting those 420K new malware every day. And we have a bunch of researchers, quite a lot, who work on them. And together with the teams, which we have here, we sort those data into the categories, and then we sell it, for example, as a threat intelligence. So this is also an interesting topic, which touches the more enterprise business, but this is how we get the cyber threats about. We also know that everybody gets attacked nowadays. Speaking of the industries, it affects basically all of the industries, mainly the government, financial, industrial institutions. That's why we focus a lot, for example, on industrial parts as well. We do have a portfolio for industrial products, but it actually affects everyone. We also made a research where we say that every company is facing, in average, about 4.7 incidents per year. It might be a different kinds of incidents. So if you take a look, the most incidents are related to malware, but there are many ways of quite, like example, like ransomware, 42%. It's a pretty high number. So the organizations are facing such a threats every day. And why? It's also because of the people. Yeah, because people are not trained, not as much as they should be. So we also did some research on this, what people are causing, what type of incidents they are causing and why, what's the source of them. So, so it's also an interesting graph. So that's why actually Kaspersky has in portfolio a wide range of cybersecurity trainings. And what I mentioned, those cyber threats, as I mentioned, majority of them, which I would put into 90% of them, they are so-called those commodity threats. Then we have like 9.9%, which I'll give you an example, like ransomware type of attacks. So these are more specific, which needs to be focused on. And then we have those 0.1, which is really like targeted kind of attacks, which might be really, really specifics for organizations, state, countries, state, organization, and stuff. So these are really, really top of the list. Majority of the vendors, including us, is actually the basic antivirus is covering this, plus it's actually those covering this 9.9%. And based on this, we actually created a structure of security foundations, which means that our products, basic products, which covers actually this majority of the commodity threats, are based in the security foundations. And actually we have another stage 2 and 3, and I'll show it to you in here. We basically placed into such a graph the products portfolio which we have. And the basic portfolio, and we're speaking about, for example, the basic antivirus product which we have is Kaspersky Endpoint Security for Business. So this is the basic antivirus solution for this. But there are many, many more. And that's why we actually put them into the 3 categories. And actually create the stages of cybersecurity. The first stage is really the easiest one. It's for the corporation who does not have enough resources to pay IT security managers. So this is like the basic stuff which they should have set. The optimum security is the product range for the people who rather think more in advance and trying to build up the security structure. And the expert security is for those who really are creating the SOC teams, for example, and are really focusing on security in a large organizations. We do have a service called Managed Detection and Response, which means it's a service where actually we do, as a company, we do a service, we checking your systems through our antivirus products, basically, and giving you information what happens if there is an incident, if there is some breach or anything happens. So this is kind of service which we do as well. And that's why we also launched very recently, it was like May, June, the new portfolio of endpoint security, which is called Kaspersky Next. Just wanted to mention this, because if you know the Kaspersky Endpoint Security for Business, you might remember we have Select, we have Advanced as the most used products. So these days, we are actually not replacing them, but we will soon, actually. We're actually putting them into our portfolio through the stages, as I have explained, and we have 3 products for this. We have Kaspersky Next EDR Foundation, and I'll speak about this. We have Kaspersky Next EDR Optimum, and we have EDR and XDR Expert. I'll touch the most used product, which is a Next EDR Foundations. I'll speak about this a little. You have all 3 actually over here. And what I just want to say, they are scaled basically for the size of the organization and for the needs of the organization which they need. So basic product is EDR Foundation, and I'll speak about this. Yeah, what's the magic on EDR Foundation basically is, as it comes from the name, is EDR technology, simply. We realized that EDR as endpoint detection and response technology becomes a commodity, basically. It's basically a need nowadays to have it implemented within the basic products. So we basically implemented it into the one product, one license, and while you're buying the product, you actually have already the basics of EDR technology. And it's the main function of this actually is called root cause analysis. It gives you a picture of what happened within your infrastructure. So you will see the structure of an attack which you can actually work with. Because nowadays, when you use an antivirus, it will just detect something, yeah, but it doesn't give you a picture what you should do, basically. It doesn't give you an information, and doesn't give you an information that you should respond and how to. So this is why actually we adding this basic feature actually nowadays into the product, and it's part of this basic product from now. This is how the UI looks like. I will not go through, and by this slide, I just want to show that majority of the smaller SMB customers really don't realize and don't think that they might be a target for the attack. And it doesn't have to be expensive investment. They can just use the investment for the basic product, which is now EDR, next EDR foundation, and they can cover basically all of these issues which actually the customers are facing. One of the main features, as you see, strong protections, basic security controls, maximum automation, which means, again, that it does not really require any assistance of the IT security managers at all. What's interesting on the product is that it can also cover a security for the mobile devices. It's actually used for the Windows, Macs, desktop, and laptops, Linux, Android, iOS, smartphone, and tablets, and very low investment from the first beginning. Yeah, I mentioned the mobile security is one of the nice features to have within this license. So we don't only cover the desktops and servers, but you do also cover the mobile security with such a features as it is, and it gives you a nice feature also to cover the security for the mobile devices across the operating system, so which means Android and also iOS in limited versions, of course. So how the reporting looks like, you might be familiar with this one because we have not changed this. What is unique on Kaspersky user interface is that we are not changing it. Whatever product you use from us is basically the same. Or very, very similar. So it means you have everything integrated into the one user interface. I believe I don't have to speak about the benefits. You might try it sooner or later through us, through our partners. If you request, for example, for testing license, we can generate it for a period of time so you can test it. But I will again highlight that these products are basically very valued within the independent organizations, which actually is collecting the awards. To the different topics a little bit. I will not speak too long any longer. Security awareness. I consider this as pretty important topic to say. Not only in relations with NIS2, it actually affects every country within the European Union, yours as well, ours as well. And one of the article of the NIS2 says that actually companies should also manage a training for cybersecurity. It's not only related to management, but also to all employees. So that's not only why, but Kaspersky has such a portfolio of the products. Again, we're focusing on it for 20 years, more than 20 years, so it's not really new for us. We do developing these programs and selling it globally for many, many years already. And we have like several programs. Some of you were here yesterday evening, we played as a interactive protection simulation, a fun activity, like gamification activity, game, which actually is focusing on training and educating the management. But the most really used ones are those two: automated security awareness platform, which actually educates the normal basic employees within the organizations. And then we have also programs for IT with a different topic. So IT managers, IT administrators, call centers who actually are dealing with the IT stuff. This is the programs which we have, and plus we have expert trainings. A little bit more about this. If you check this website, there is a platform. You can actually try a demo for 2 or 3 months. I don't remember this right now. It's fully localized to Hungarian and 25 other languages, and this is actually the platform where actually you can educate the employees of your organizations pretty easily. And why we say this is automated process, which means the systems runs the program and education schedule actually for each of the employees. So we're just checking the reports which comes on some basis, which you can set. And actually, you at least fulfill the NIS2 requirements, and you also just train your people on cybersecurity topics. So this is the one. If you want to test it, check this website. If you want to have more licenses for a longer period, please contact your resellers. They will provide you with the license to test. Yes, there's pretty a lot of the topics inside. Again, we're developing this platform for very, very long time. So there's a lot to train. Usually, the 3 minutes? Okay. Okay. Usually, the people are going through several topics over this, and it's really helping them. Another one is, as I mentioned, it's called CITO. Is for the IT online. If you go to citotraining.com, there's an explanation, and there's also a demo on this. And there are like 6 topics which those people, which IT managers, IT administrators actually can test. If you remember, I just mentioned Next Portfolio, Next Foundation, Next Optimum. If you buy a Next Optimum license, you have this training included in it. So, example, you have a company with 1,000 licenses. You basically can have 1,000 licenses of this training. Reality is that those users need like 5, 10, those companies. But I mean, this is included for free, so you can actually use it within the license of the basic antivirus. And the last one is actually executive trainings. These are the trainings for real experts of SOC teams, organizations, and stuff. Again, xtrainings.kaspersky.com. And there is a lot of topics to discuss, to talk. Yeah, this is for whom they are, SOC team managers, threat hunters, malware reversers, and so on. And these are the topics which actually they can train online within the 6 months period license. So they have 6 months to go through these kind of trainings. They are actually accompanied with the real people from our professional teams. So it's like live discussions within this and as well. So X-Training portfolio. And the last slide is about the game which we played yesterday. You maybe experienced it. And I'll just finish this with the information that Kaspersky has a wide range portfolio of the security training. So if you're interested not only in the endpoint security as a basic protection, then you can also focus on educating the people. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Petr. Just one question. You mentioned that there is a situation about Kaspersky in Europe due to geopolitical reasons. Yes. Is there any change in this situation? Can you see when you will be again a trusted provider in Europe?
Nice question. One of the most frequent questions which we get, basically, but we don't really see when this will change. It will change when the overall geopolitical situation will change. We kind of hoping that somehow the geopolitical situation will bring some difference from us, which will make the company a little bit stronger. But from my personal point of view, it will take some time, years maybe. So right now, the company, even though it is operating in Europe, and we are stable, we are fully supported within all European countries, the fact is that Kaspersky is like focusing on other markets to gain more revenue from other markets, not so much from Europe. As you know, Kaspersky had to close offices in USA due to the latest geopolitical issue, due to the ban. we are not banned in any other Central Eastern European countries, just to mention, not even in Hungary. In Hungary, we are so-called not recommended. Yeah, this is what the governmental organizations of Hungary says. It is not recommended, but it does not mean we are banned. So that describes the situation. I probably didn't answer you directly when this will end, but nobody knows.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what the answer I was waiting for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.